All right, let's talk about the 3 most important maneuvers that you can learn for canoeing if you're going to be paddling any kind of whitewater. So I'm going to set up my handy dandy river prop here. Here is the river, here's the land, here's the eddies. The first maneuver you have to learn is a forward ferry, and that's how to move sideways across the river. Let's say there's a waterfall right here, and you want to go from this side of the river to that side of the river. If I just turn and point in the direction that I want to go and start paddling, I'm going to move that way, but the river's still going. So as I paddle, I'm getting carried downstream because you're paddling this way, but the river's moving you that way, which results in you going over the waterfall and disaster. So what you need to do instead is you need to keep the boat at an angle and paddle forward. I won't go upriver because the river is moving down. But what will happen is I'm going to move sideways, back and forth across the current. How much of an angle depends on the speed of the current. The faster the current, the less of an angle you need and the more you're going to be facing upriver. This is a forward ferry because you're paddling forward. So the river is moving really fast, you just have a slight little angle and you paddle hard. If the river is a lazy one, you might have a more open angle. And you get to the other side. For a forward ferry, I want the bow to be up and the stern to be down. If it's nose heavy, the current's going to catch it and spin me all the time. Therefore, I want to move my equipment or move the paddlers a little bit back so then the bow is lighter than the stern. So that is a forward ferry. A back ferry is a little bit trickier, but it's really important, especially if you're paddling loaded boats that are open, that you have to keep fairly dry. So if I'm coming down the river and I want to slow down, and the river's also moving, if I start paddling backwards, I might just stay in the same place. But that doesn't help me move left and right. What I need to do is angle the boat slightly and paddle backwards. Again, I won't move upriver. As I paddle backwards, that force will be canceled out by the movement of the current coming down. What it will do, however, is push me sideways. So I can back ferry from side to side as the river flows down. This is tricky. You've got to remember to keep the weight more to the front of the boat. If the weight is in the back of the boat, it's going to dig in and spin around. So you might need to move forward, or you might need to move your heavy baggage forward in the boat. You want the boat to be nose heavy when you're doing this. And this is tricky because you got to become comfortable with backward paddling strokes. But it's only work, right? If the person in the bow learns to do backward sweeps and cross bow draws, that's often enough to get you back ferrying. The third maneuver are eddy turns. If you're coming down river and you see a waterfall that you do not like, then aim for the eddy. That's a calmer water here behind some kind of object or some kind of cove. I'm going to paddle forward here. Then, as the front of the boat, the bow, hits the slower water, it's going to pin it and the boat will spin around. Similarly on the other side, you're coming down, you're coming down, you're coming down, you're going to paddle forward. As you cross that eddy line, it's going to spin you upstream. Now you can get out and scout. Now you can get out and portage. Now you can get out the hell off the river if it's dangerous. So forward ferry, back ferry, and eddy turns. The 3 most important moves that you can learn for whitewater paddling.